Hello guys, welcome to your 14th C++ tutorial. Today we are going to be looking at arrays. So our first look at array, we are going to deal with the one-dimensional array, which is a very simple container for storing a set of values or data. So imagine you have a chunk of data of a particular data type. Okay, look at let's say marks, okay, or ages, or some particular amount of money respective to certain people in a particular chunk value, but you want to store this amount of value or these data. Now what you could do, one way you could do this would be to declare multiple variables to store each of your individual values of this chunk data, but then that would be very ineffective. One reason it will be really bulky. Let's say you have like 1000, okay, 1000 ages or 1000 students, and then you have 1000 separate marks. You would have to declare 1000 variables for receiving or for storing that 1000 data. But arrays have come to make that very easy for us. So with arrays, you are able to declare a chunk block of memory, and it's contiguous, so that way each of the elements are aligned side by side. Okay, it's a contiguous block of memory that is used to store data. So this example that we just gave, we could declare an array of size 1000 to hold the 1000 records. You get it? So it's as easy as that, and it's very simple to implement as well. So let's see an example. I'll just declare an array, simple array, integer array, and then we'll manipulate it in some one or two ways to see how this works and how easy it is to implement. So declaring an array is no different than a variable, just some slight addition. Okay, so let's say we want to declare an array to hold integer values, and remember, we need to explicitly state the data type that this particular array will be storing. You can't declare an array of type int and later store double or string values inside it. That won't happen. Okay, just like our variable, that thing can't happen with the arrays. Very similar rules. And the next thing we want to do is our array name, or the identifier, what identifies our array, which is going to serve as a pointer. Okay, let me not write pointer, let me write ages. I'll just store some few ages here, and this is our ages. This is how you declare an array. This is a fully incomplete declared array. The only thing left for us to do here will be to put the size of our array in here. Now with C++, you can't declare an array without us telling the array that, or telling the compiler, this is the size of memory block you want to allocate to this particular array name or this particular array. So once you declare your array, you state the size of the array so that it goes straight to memory to declare that block of memory when your program is executing, to use that particular block of memory. You can't declare an array without a size. If you want to also leave this square brackets open, what you could do is you initialize your array. Okay, let's say this is an integer variable, so we could initialize by doing this. These are elements we've kept inside here. So once we do this, the compiler will know once these are elements, meaning this array has been initialized to these particular values. This value will be stored in the very first index, that will be the index 0. But in the actual memory, it's not going to be 0. That you should take note of that one. In the index of the array, this will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But these are 6 elements. Something you should note. You should note very well too. Because we are starting at an index of 0, we are going to end at index 5. But there are 6 elements in there. So what we put in here is the size of the array. But what I just counted right now are the indices of the array. Okay, so where our element is in index 0, is an index 1, is an index 2. Those are the indices that are used to access elements in the array. So what haven't I said? Okay, pretty much I think I've covered almost all the necessary stuff. So let's go ahead and declare this array of 5 elements. I think 5 elements. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run a loop. Okay, I'm gonna run a for loop here for an integer I moving from 0. As I said, I'm gonna have to insert arbitrary values inside this our array. Okay, I just declared an empty array of 5 liking. So I'm gonna loop from 0 to I less than 5. Okay, then I should be increased by 1. Now for this loop, I'm going to say in each particular loop case, I will ask for cout a user to enter, please enter age. And since I'm going to be starting from 0, I will say I plus 1, meaning this is the first element or the first age in our array. You get it? So this is our first element in the whole age arrays that we've declared, but it's going to be moving. We're going to be inserting into the first index. That will be index 0 right here. Okay, so I'll give it space here so that the user enters this, and I will take that in, okay, in my ages I. You get it? Meaning our first element. Let's look at how this goes. How this is going to happen. So I'm going to loop 5 times. Each time I'm going to ask someone to enter an age, particular age. So this one will enter age 1. The second one will enter age 2, age 3, age 4, and age 5. There are 5 ages. But then this I here is going to be the index of the element in the array. So the first element, though it's going to be our element, our age 1, it will be inserted in an index of 0 in the array. You should note that I'm not inserting it in index 1. If I insert it in index 1, at the end of the array, we would have inserted from 1 to 5, and we won't be able to insert in the 0, and then in the program will throw index out of bounds exception, since in the next loop we'll have to insert in an index 5, which will be out of the indices of the array. So after inserting into our array, we'll have some ages to work with. Okay, so let's see, what should we do with these ages? Let's just let's just access output age, a particular age in some index. Let's say age 4. Okay, then end the line, meaning we're going to output the last or the 5th age. Okay, this is age 4. If I put 5 here, it will, as I said, it will be an exception. We'll deal with exceptions later, but it will basically throw a nasty error, and the compiler would not allow you to do that, since this 5 will be out of the indices of the array ages. Okay, the indices allowed to be 0 to 4. So we have 4 here, and this will be our program, simple array program that is going to first of all loop through 5 elements for us to enter these ages, and then we'll access any of the ages that we've stored in our ages pointer, our ages array from down here. So let's run the program and see what we have. So we execute. Okay, sorry, we have ages, not age. Okay, so the array name is ages, not age, so you can't use age to access an item there. Oh, this should have been, let's do something to make it nicer. Let's just write something here. Age number let's say 4, since we are outputting or age number 4. No, it's actually the 5th age that's going to be accessing the 4th index. So age number 5, it equals something, this is what we entered. So F11 to compile and run the program. This, please enter age 1. I'm going to enter 20 years. Please enter age 2. I'll enter 12, 3, 32, 4, and 43, and the 5th age I'll put 89. And this, after we run the program, this is supposed to output 89 for us if everything works good. So age number 5 is 89. As we can see, this is now stored in our array. Okay, everything here is now stored in our array, and we can access it. We can access any of the elements within this array that we stored these ages to use them anytime we want to. Okay, again, this is the ages. This is an array, simple one-dimensional array that we've just looked at. And it's very important that you understand this before we move into the two-dimensional array. So it's going to be working in the same fashion, but basically you need to understand this one before you understand the nested one. It's like ifs and then looping. You need to understand the if before we start to nest the ifs. So again, an array is used to store data sets, okay, data of particular data type that are multiple. And when you declare an array, it allocates a contiguous chunk of memory, block of memory, for storing your data, and it should be declared of the same data type. You should explicitly state the size of the data that you are going to store in the particular array, meaning the size of the array, the number or quantity of the elements that should be stored in the array before you move on to do anything. So this is it for the one-dimensional array. I will see you guys in the next tutorial where we'll look at the 2D arrays and how we can use that one to do some really awesome and cool computations. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.